Welcome back to the Years in Making podcast with your hosts,
Lizzie.
and Noah. Today is episode 18, season 2, episode 3. And if you are watching the video right now, you can tell that there is stuff all over the place.
Sorry for the organized hot mess in the background.
Underline the word organized. But our big announcement is hopefully coming in the next episode. If this isn't a hint, I don't know what is. So if you're not watching, then you're probably listening. Just imagine our normal setup with a bunch of boxes and bags everywhere. But it's not that bad. Behind the camera, that's where everything is that's worse. And
It's kind of like a trail. We just
Yeah.
have a trail to every room,
correct.
and stuff is stacked everywhere.
But like I said, this is episode 18. And I thought it would be cool to do a farewell tour to our first living space together.
Was it kind of sappy?
I know. I swear I'm probably going to cry when we move.
But I don't know. It's kind of like it's been a good first place, but also it's like I don't know. It's just like so many of our first.
Yeah. We'll
You know what I mean?
we'll
Like,
dive into things.
Yeah, like we're super happy for we're so excited for the upcoming thing. But it's just like so many first, which we'll get into. So
Absolutely. So just to get started, how we got moved into here. So obviously we got married October 7th and
2023.
2023. That's right. They need to know the
I
year.
forgot that we're now in 2025. That's what I'm gonna specify.
So all of this kind of came from let's say all this came from a lady at our church who kind of told my brother and his wife about this apartment. My brother and his wife got married in 2022, and they ended up moving into this apartment. Now, I don't know when we figured it out, but we figured out the apartment that they moved into, it's more of a house and it's a duplex. So a duplex meaning that there is two sides of the house. There is their side and there is this side, and there's a hallway in between the two. So I don't really know how it came about, but I think one day my brother mentioned to me that, obviously we were engaged at that time, and he mentioned to me that the other side of this space was available. And this all came from a lady at our church that is our next door neighbor, pretty much. And she told my brother, who moved into here, and then once we got engaged, it brought the conversation between me and my brother that this was available to rent. So from there, the previous the owner of the property, he had a lot of stuff in both areas up until Andrew and Charity moved in there. So pretty much he transferred everything that was in their part to our part. So it was a lot of the owner's just stuff. I mean, it was every room was filled to the brim with all sorts of stuff that had just been, compiled over the years.
I think it took me and Noah. I mean, it probably took us a week to deep clean this place. It was something.
Yeah, but he ended up over a few months, 3 to 5 months span. Andrew mentioned to him that we were interested, and he ended up moving out all of his stuff, and then that's where we came in and started kind of deep cleaning everything. We had a few things fixed with the apartment. We had it all painted. Shout out to Lizzie's cousin for that. I think there were 3 places in the house where we had to, I think it was my dad every time. He installed a place to put a mirror in the bathroom because directly where you face is a window, so there's no way to look at yourself in the mirror. So he had to attach it to the side of where we keep our kind of towels. So he had to do that. My dad also made us a big shelving unit in our kitchen, which has been very helpful. And my dad, thirdly, put an additional rack in our bedroom closet just to have more space. And I think everything has looked and it's been very functional for us. And those three things, it would have been hard to kind of live without those three things. We wouldn't have had the amount of space we have now and the kind of convenience that we have. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what was done to the place before we moved into it, and kind of during the time we were moving into it, and the time we were moved into it. Let me blow my nose. You can carry the conversation.
Okay.
Talk to it.
Yeah, so like Noah said, we kind of got the place ready in order to be functional for us. So, you know, Noah's dad built some things. We put new vent covers in the ground because the ones that were there were super rusted. My cousin painted the whole place because it was literally the colors of like a Mexican restaurant in here.
I
So
know.
now it's all white, and before it was like green, and some greens are
Orange,
pretty. This was not.
yellow.
This was not a pretty. This is not a pretty green. Yellow, red, orange.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was something. It really was.
And along with the what you call them, the vent covers. Is that what it was? Vent covers. Along with that, we also got new additional blinds. My dad helped us out with that. So yeah, we ended up being able to move in, obviously a little bit before we got married. Obviously we didn't live here before we got married,
but we just like we
brought our stuff.
Yeah, we moved in together, like, of course, right after we got married. But before then, we were able to prepare it in order for us to move in after we got married.
And that was a blessing because the owner didn't charge us like rent when we were moving our stuff in, so we were able to move our stuff in for free, which was a big blessing.
Yeah.
And I think he also gave us our first month's rent free
because we lived
we got
here
married.
Half the month.
Yeah,
it was weird timing.
Yeah, we got married kind of
just super nice
at the beginning of the month, so that was very nice. So that's kind of how we got to where we are today. Moved in here October 2023, and now it is middle of February 2025, and you know we're saying farewell to this apartment. There's just been so many like good memories, so many bad memories.
We're gonna go over
so many funny memories. I think the best thing that came out of this is like funny memories that I don't think I'll ever forget.
I think 99% have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Which also, me and Noah have a very different sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So when something goes bad, instead of like being mad at each other or, you know, just taking out on each other, we just like always start dying laughing.
Yeah, I don't get angry. I just laugh. It's just because you just have to laugh sometimes.
Like if something is messed up or something, what is you being angry? Like that's not going to fix the issue. So do you have anything else to say, or do you want to jump into the memes?
Also, every single episode of the podcast has been filmed here except Adam Marissa's. And then there is paneling that we have avoided to show you guys for the past 18 episodes.
We try to pretend it's not there.
So the paneling is original to the place, and our owner said that we couldn't paint it, so it's been just the way it is since we've been here. Lizzie hates paneling with a passion. There used to be paneling in our church. Lizzie could not stand it. Finally, there is no paneling in our church.
Never mind. I was going to spoil the surprise, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay. But just know that on the outskirts of our filming area is paneling, and Lizzie absolutely hates it. So I'm surprised she even was able to live here for the year and 5 months that we lived here. So that's something that you may or may not have known about the apartment, since, you know, some of you have never been here before. So I think just to live out some of our nostalgia, let's just go through some of these memories, Lizzie. Let's just kind of go. You want to go back and forth, or do you want to handle certain ones?
We can go back and forth, yeah.
Because I know there's ones I need to cover because I was here for them and you weren't.
Okay, so. Yeah, there's some. I mean, we can go back and forth for the most part, and then we can. So, can you insert pictures on the video or no?
No.
Okay. Because I have pictures of some of these that would be hilarious.
Yeah, because you can't. I thought you can't edit. For the video to work, you can't edit anything about it.
Gotcha.
unless I were just to post it to YouTube.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have a lot of pics of all these, which we may have to post on our years in the
Instagram.
making Instagram, just for y'all to grasp the full concept of this. So, I'm
Dude,
so
I'm not
sorry.
gonna be able to make it through
I'm
this.
not gonna be able to make it through this. So the first one is the tortilla chips that went everywhere. So do you want? So this happened to you, right? Do you want to dig into this?
So, wasn't it raining?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to find the picture while you talk about it.
So we get Moe's every Sunday night after church, and I'm gonna need your help on this one because I don't remember this one as well.
So I
Um,
want to say
I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember it probably as well as you do.
you might have been like unpacking our Moe's, and the bottom quite literally like busted
Was it?
everywhere.
Wasn't it outside though? You remember
Wait, you're
I
wait.
was bringing it in and it was raining and I had a little. I think I had
No,
a little
it
like.
was outside, and then you were trying to clean it up because it was such a mess. So you took it outside, and then there were like tortilla chips like all over the side porch because of it. I think.
So I had our Moe's bag, and I think I had a very small grip on it, and I think it ended up. Did it break through the bottom, or did?
Yes, it broke through the bottom.
Okay, I guess okay. So what happened was the bottom got so wet from the rain that it ended up like I don't even know.
Or
Did I drop it?
no, I just think it busted through. It was either the rain or grease. No, I'm thinking about it.
It was either rain or grease, but anyways, the bag I had, it was so wet at the bottom that it busted through. All of our chips fell out onto the side porch, which is just stairs, and I was like one step away from making it into the house, unlocking the door, and yeah, it was. I don't remember that one as well as some of these other ones, but just know that there was Moe's chips on the staircase outside for several days. I had to get a broom and sweep them into the grass.
It
So
was hilarious, and I can't find the picture, of course.
we'll find it later.
We'll find it and then
And
post it on
that
our
I
Instagram.
can't remember that story very well. I don't know
I
why,
don't know. I just remember it being hilarious.
but it was funny.
Okay.
But
Okay, this is also another picture that was hilarious.
this is like a reoccurring thing
This
right
is a
here.
reoccurring thing. So, what's interesting about our apartment is for our closet doors, they're sliding mirrors. Because this is an older duplex. So things are like built differently than they are today. So in our hall, we have a hall closet that is literally like it's supposed to be two doors, but instead of it being two like doors with knobs, it's
Mm-hmm.
two sliding mirrors.
Correct.
So our little personal fixer over here, Noah, I mean, this situation is just rigged, to be honest with you. And we keep our like paper towels and toilet paper behind it. So every time I go to like get that stuff, it's just a mess. So at one point in time, the sliding door completely just like came off. I mean, Noah's literally in the hallway like holding this like 8 foot mirror that's supposed to be the door pretty much came off. So thankfully, somehow Noah always knows how to fix that. I don't know how, but I'm very appreciative for it because Lord knows I can't do that. So
Yeah. Lizzie specifically leaves it open for me because she doesn't know how to
I
close it.
literally can't close it. I
It's
always
like
break
a
it.
disorder of hers. She cannot close it to
No,
save
I
her life.
can't. It's a
And it gets off track really easily. So like you have to finagle it a certain way. And it's just very funny. Like Lizzie said, like I literally had the door like I was getting so frustrated. The door was literally being held in my hands, and I ended up leaning it against the wall to try to figure it out. And I still don't know exactly how to do it to this day, but it's just been a memory over the past year and a half almost. Just dealing with the mirror sliding door. It's been interesting. And
it's kind of one of those things you kind of have to be
you have to
here.
deal with it. You have to
You have to
know
be here to
if you know,
understand
you
how
know.
funny it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is insane. It's rigged up, and it's janky,
Yep.
but
Okay.
I'm gonna miss it for sure.
It is kind of nice having a mirror everywhere to
You don't
see
have
it
to
as
find the
well.
picture. I
I
mean,
know,
you
but
can find it
it
later.
was just so funny. Okay, let's just roll through these so it's not like a
Right,
super
right,
long.
right.
Okay, go through. This is all you. Explain.
So one of the reasons we're moving is our septic tank. We don't know really what's in the store for it next. Long story short, it needs to be replaced, and we don't know if it's going to be replaced. So when the sewage gets backed up, the septic tank likes to make this noise.
Would you like to make that noise for us, Noah?
Oh, absolutely.
It literally every. Okay, listen. It used to be every time that we would cut on the water. Now, it like me and Noah would just be sitting on the couch, like watching TV. We'll be laying in the bed, and like I mean, at the most random times, and it will make that noise. And I'm just so scared that one day that noise is just not going to stop, and it's just
Yeah,
going to start. It's literally it sounds like someone's singing, like the thing's humming.
it's quite interesting. Every time we flush now, it literally goes off, and it's very interesting. I don't know the mechanics behind it. I don't know why that happens, but if you know, you know that it's just kind of the thing. Like if you've been to our house and heard it, it's the funniest thing
Yeah,
you've
it's so
ever heard.
funny.
We're used to it now,
So we don't
but
really hear it, but when people come
but
over, they're like,
But when like me and Lizzie are like just sitting here in silence sometimes, and it comes on, we just die and
"It's
cannot
so funny.
control
It's
ourselves.
so
It
funny."
is so funny, and that's the noise I made. It's
It's
perfect.
spot on.
It's
But
exactly what
the
it sounds
funny
like.
thing is, it like goes through periods of time where like it doesn't like it went like
Right.
3 months
It
without
doesn't
doing it,
happen.
and now it's like
Yep.
every multiple times every hour.
Yep.
Okay,
I
next.
can do that one too.
Yes, so Noel's gonna explain this because I, okay, I have to explain how I found out that this happened. So you go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, yeah, that was great. So Aaron Hudson, my buddy, comes over here every once in a while, and we do devotion, just catch up. And I think this was on a Saturday. Me and Aaron hadn't hung out in a hot minute, so we both wanted to, spend some time together. So he came over here. I think we did a devotion, just talked about some stuff, talked about their upcoming wedding and stuff. And when it was time for Aaron to go, I, obviously dapped him up like we always do. He leaves. He goes out to his car, and there is a basketball goal out in our yard, and it is a pole into the ground that was kind of built into the ground, and it's just been an eyesore for the past several years. It's been here.
It's
Obviously,
rusted.
it
The
was
net has
mildewied,
the net
mildew,
has moss on it,
moss. Yeah,
mildew. I mean, it's
yeah.
just
I mean, it's been here for several years, obviously,
it needed
before
to
we
go.
got here. So Aaron is pulling out, and he has a backup camera, but fails to use it. So I'm sitting at the window, watching Aaron, just watching him leave, and Buddy Rowe backs up, doesn't use his rear view camera, and absolutely demolishes our basketball goal.
To the point it quite literally snaps. It doesn't dent the sucker. It snaps
The
it in
pole
half.
snapped in half.
It was that rusted.
And obviously, you're thinking, Noah, why didn't you go stop him? But it was to the point where I was at the window. I would have had to open the door, run outside, and yell for Aaron. He wouldn't have heard me. And it was to the point where it was just peak comedy, so I just had to watch, and I knew I couldn't do anything about it. Aaron runs into this, runs into the basketball goal, and dents up the back of his car. I still don't think he's got it fixed. Maybe he has.
Mm.
I don't remember. But you had to be there. It was so funny. And me and Lizzie were very glad because it was an absolute eyesore,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
We're
a
not glad
hazard.
we're not glad it happened the way it did,
No,
but it needed to go.
it didn't need to go.
Okay, Noah, you explain the next one because okay. Also, let me say one more thing about the basketball goal. So I think I was at work when this took place. So Noah didn't like tell me, he didn't text me or anything that this took place. So I'm pulling in from work. I guess you tracked me to see like when I would be home. All I, I actually forgot how funny this was. All I see when I'm pulling in the driveway is Noah saluting. Noah, do it. Noah. He's literally standing where the basketball goal was and is like this. And I'm like, I am astonished. I'm like, where did this thing go? It was the funniest thing I have ever seen. It was so funny.
Like, explaining this stuff in words does not do justice for how
Mhm.
funny this stuff was in person.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Very funny.
Okay, next. No, you got the next one on.
We were cleaning out the house one day, and
Wait, what?
well, me and you were cleaning, not cleaning out, but like
I
cleaning the
wasn't
house.
here.
You weren't here. Oh, you weren't here. Okay.
Because remember, my grandparents came over, and then you.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different time. Wasn't there a rat underneath our rug that one time? That was like,
Mm-mm.
what was that?
That was a lizard, a squish lizard.
That's what it was. Okay, sorry. I was
No,
thinking,
I was talking about. You know what I'm talking
okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. But long story short, there was a lizard underneath our rug. And we take our rug off every few months.
to vacuum under. So.
But there was a squished dead lizard. Do not know how it got there. Do not know how it died. But it was under our rug.
Like it was like flat, like a piece of paper.
Right.
Okay,
but that was a different story, which I was thinking of.
This is the funny one.
So I'm working from home one day, and
I'm not here. I'm at work.
I think Lizzie's grandparents, Donnie and Nancy, were bringing us a gift for our graduation, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and Anna came with them. So they come into the house.
Anna's my little sister.
Yeah, right. So they come into the house, and they sit around here. They sit at this couch for about 10 minutes. We talk, and obviously, Anna needed to get home and stuff, so they took Anna home after that. So right after they left, I come back, sit on the couch like I originally was. I look over to my left and see something on the ground, and I'm like, what in the world is that? It's right under this couch, and right where Lizzie's grandpa, Donnie, was sitting, and it was right under this couch. I look at it, and it is a dead rat / mouse.
Beheaded.
Baby rat mouse.
Beheaded.
With its head, like, chewed off.
Beheaded.
Now, shout out to Honey because she is protecting our home. But it was very strange how I didn't see it and they didn't see it. I didn't see it until they left. Now, and I was grateful and thankful that they didn't see that because I didn't want people to think that we were slobs because we're not.
We're not. It was just,
and that was the first time I've ever seen a mouse or rat in this house. And that's a God thing because it's
older.
It could be swarmed with that kind of stuff, but that was the only time, and Honey took control over it.
Well, the thing is, it was like it was dead winter, so all the rodents and everything are trying to get inside where it's warm. But yeah, thankfully, Honey halfway finished it. She didn't completely finish the job, but she did what she could, I guess.
Yeah, but it was just a weird circumstance, and how perfectly it worked out to where I saw it when they left, and they didn't see it, and I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Next, so I don't know if you see that leaning shelf with the lamp back there. So me and Noah were laying in bed one night, and we hear I can't even explain it, like a big boom, pretty much. We get up. This leaning shelf. It's now
a backstory.
Yes.
This leaning shelf is now screwed into the wall, but at the time we were just leaning against the wall because it had successfully been able to be like leaned against the wall, and we had no problems with it for several months.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have like decorations and stuff on it. So we hear a big boom. Come in here. The leaning shelf has toppled over. And it was very odd because it has a bunch of breakable stuff on it.
Mm.
So like we have our it has a lamp on it. We have our framed
flowers from the wedding.
Pressed flowers from the wedding. Like there was a bunch of breakable stuff on it. Somehow like everything just like magically stayed on it and was like in the floor. So
it was very
weird.
I don't know. like everything either magically stayed on it or fell and nothing broke. I don't know how it
We don't
happened.
question it. It's fine.
It was very interesting.
Okay, Noah, tell us about the ladybug and wasp situation.
So wasps not as much. But our house gets absolutely infested with ladybugs. Specifically in our kitchen and spare bedroom.
Like
So
by the
hundreds,
hundreds.
hundreds.
Yes.
So when Aaron comes over, Aaron and I use our vacuum to just like try to get as many of them as possible, and it's just like an inside joke. Like we would like there's still ladybugs all over the place, like not alive, but they're all over the place, and me and Aaron just would like use the vacuum and just like scoop them off the ceiling, and they would all bundle up in a corner, and we would just like try to catch them in midair. It was a lot of fun.
That'll be also pictured on our Instagram post because I have a picture
Yes,
of that. That's hilarious.
okay, good.
Yeah. Um. So, Honey.
You got this one.
Yeah. Also, I'll have a video of her doing this that will be inserted as well. But Honey has random zoomies, and we have a door right here that connects to the hallway that splits the two apartments together, or yeah, that's between the two apartments. So she will quite literally, I mean, it's a whole ninja kick. I mean, she like completely jumps like 4 foot in the air and ricochets off the door, and the door's glass. So it makes this really loud noise when she has zoomies and ricochets off the door. It's a whole scene. We'll insert the clip because it's hilarious.
But it usually happens when you're in the shower. Weirdly enough,
Mm.
it's a weird like she gets her zoomies when like I guess when it's just me and her around because she knows I'm crazy. So
Yeah.
but it like a lot of this stuff you have to just like know and like it's hard to explain it and be funny. But like just if you were here for all these things, if they all happen in the same day, it would just
It would
be
be hilarious.
hilarious.
Okay. I think I can see the sign. So we have a S3 in the house we serve the Lord sign that used to be on the wall. It's a few feet above her cat tree that we have over there as well. And I don't know why she doesn't like this verse of the Bible, but I mean, she's like, she hates this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's hit it multiple times. We've been laying in the bed, hear this big collapse. I mean, she's knocked this 6 foot long sign off the wall
Several times.
completely.
Well, it's because
the 6 pound cat.
It's because her cat tree is directly underneath it, so she gets kind of on her hind legs and kicks it around. And it is not necessarily bolted onto the wall; it's kind of hanging, so she has the ability to move it up and move it down, and she makes that racket pretty much all throughout the night sometimes. And like Lizzie said, several times it's fallen over and made another loud bang in the house.
So Honey doesn't like the Joshua 24:15 sign, which is kind of rude, but yeah, she's a heathen cat.
She's a sinner.
She's a sinner saved by grace. Just kidding. Okay. Do you want to do the next two? Or do you mean to do
Oh my goodness, yes, I can do both
got
of these.
them.
So
I also have a video of this.
Okay.
So
I
we'll
don't have a
post that
video of
on
the next one. So there is
did.
imagine soundproof wall in our hallway in between us and Andrew and Charity's.
Just so we can't really hear each other as much.
So it's a soundproof wall, and funny enough, Honey can climb it like Spider-Man. So it's the kind of material where she can claw it and just stick up there.
She loves it.
So sometimes we throw her on there and she just sticks. Sometimes she goes up there by herself. Sometimes we fetch her up there with a toy. But it's really cool, and every time we bring somebody over the house, we always show them.
They're like, what?
It's so cool.
But it's funny because, I mean, this soundproof wall, it's like the whole entire wall. Like, it goes from the top of the floor to the top of the ceiling or whatever.
Right.
So she'll get up there and, like, hit the ceiling, and it's hilarious.
It's crazy.
Okay, Noah, tell us about the next one.
Now, this is probably...
I was not present. I just heard about this.
This is the most memorable story I've ever had in this apartment. And it's not a good memory. Okay. So, I am home alone. I think... Was I still at Vans?
Either you were
Or
still advanced or you were working from home. I can't remember.
I don't think I was working from home because I wouldn't have been showered and I would have been
I think
showering
you
in the
were
middle of
working
the day.
advanced, so you were
I
going
think it
in
was
for the night
advanced.
shift.
Yep. Or I would had just had the day off. So long story short, I'm in the shower midday. I would say probably 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm in the shower taking a shower, and in the middle of obviously um, bathing myself, and I hear a knock on the door. And this knock isn't a knock I've heard before. It's very hard and a pound and a serious knock. So I just thought it was the cat because her cat tree is right outside our bathroom door. So I just thought it was the cat originally, and I just continued to shower like I normally would. And then I heard it again. Probably 3 or 4 knocks, very very hard. Um, and no voice or anything, just several very hard knocks. And I panic because every time somebody knocks on the door, I my heart starts beating out of my chest. I just assume the worst possible
Mm-hmm.
because of this. I don't think it was that way before.
He's
Um,
traumatized.
I am. So I immediately I finish washing everything as fast as I can. I get my towel, dry off, run to the bathroom, throw my pajamas on. My hair, my body is soaking wet. I put my glasses on. I walk. I look out the cat's window. There is three. There is I think it was one state trooper, maybe not. I know there was three cop cars out there, maybe one state trooper and 2 cops, or it was just 3 cops. And I'm like, what in the world? I'm home alone. Andrew and Charity are at work. Lizzie's at work. I I do not know what to do, but obviously open the door. I go to the door, and this cop asks me if I can come outside for a second and to grab my ID. And I was like, okay. And I grabbed my ID, went outside. And the most embarrassing part about this was that my glasses were fogging up because it was like the humidity outside was terrible. My glasses are fogging up while I'm talking to the policeman. I'm like stuttering because I'm nervous because I've never committed a crime in my life, but this is making me think that I committed a crime. So they pretty much ask me if I have any children in the home, and I'm like, no, just my cat. Because obviously me and Lizzie do not have a child, and neither do Andrew and Charity. And I guess what happened was somebody set off um, one of those things you can on your phone. Not an Amber Alert, but you can press. I think it was like an emergency. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah. I
Like
know.
when you turn your phone off and there's the off button and the emergency button. I think they pressed that
Mm-hmm.
emergency button, and something about they left a message like in this area in this general vicinity, like there was a missing child. Now I don't know if this was a scam or a prank call or a joke, but they said it was at our our address, and I told them no kids lived here, just my cat. And
Just the
um,
cat.
long story short, everything ended up being okay. I just, was very nervous at the first happening of it, but eventually, don't forget, I was in my pajamas and my glasses were fogging up. I was nervous as all get out, and I was like stuttering because I've never been around the cops before. So everything ended up being okay. I don't know what happened with the case in the long run. I told them of our neighbors maybe having some kids, but didn't hear much, haven't heard anything else about it. But I thought it was very strange how it was our location, and I'm assuming that it was somebody that was driving by during that time and they put it on their phone, or it was either that or a prank call.
Mm.
I still don't know to this day. Um, but yeah, that was a memory that I love to share, but do not like to relive.
Craziness.
That was something.
Do you? Yeah, I can do the next one. Is that good?
Yes, that's.
Okay.
This is. We're wrapping up at this point. This
Yeah.
is one of the
We're
last
just a
ones.
few more. So it was maybe a few months ago. So our thermostat broke. The thermostat has the like temperature on it, like
Right.
what we set it to, and then what the actual temperature is, and it was completely blank.
The
So
visual screen was
visual screen.
it was empty. You couldn't see anything on the screen, so you couldn't. obviously we had it set to a certain like temperature, but
Yeah.
like we couldn't see
What it
what
was
that
set
temperature
to.
was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that died. So we had to get a whole new one of those. Then the hot water heater broke. And then the dryer broke, but not the dryer itself. It ended up being the plug in for the dryer, like the outlet in the wall. That did whatever. That was its own thing.
Wasn't the didn't that happen and then the
The dry
power went out and the water stopped working, right?
maybe. I don't
Because
remember that.
remember we were like so happy to have water back, and then we realized it. Yeah, because that's why the water heater stopped working,
Mm.
because the power went out.
Yeah. So
So the order it was
yeah, tell us the order.
the thermostat, the power went out, which made the water stop working, and the power going out affected the hot water heater, which stopped working as
Which ended up
well,
breaking.
and then the dryer outlet, which made the dryer stop working. And this was all. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. And then I want to say we were just having hot water problems. And then I don't know if it was the same time or like a week before or something. Something happened with the well. Was that? I think that was around the same time, maybe,
Yeah,
or was it like
maybe before?
Yeah, maybe a little bit before. But anyways, this all happened probably in the span of well, all that stuff happened within the span of a month, and then the well thing was like maybe a month before or something.
No, that all happened in a week.
This all happened in a week.
Yeah, it was.
So we were pretty much
thermostat broke, power went out, so we had no water. Power came back on, the water heater wouldn't work, and the dryer outlet wouldn't work, and that was all in 1 week.
We were going through the trenches.
That week we were struggling.
Shout out to my parents for living 3 minutes away because we showered many times at their house that week. So that happened. Do you wanna?
I'll cover this last one, and then those other two are just like something we can just say. This one was also when I was here alone. And because I got home.
I was doing my internship in Raleigh, and you called me when you got home from work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't remember if I was at Vans or strategic, but I got home and I walked into the hallway and noticed it looked like a sea coral in the floor. And
like a sea urchin.
Sea urchin, yeah.
That was very weird.
It's hard to explain.
It looked like a huge piece of licorice, kind of.
So, backstory: Honey loves hair bows, and we would play with hair bows with Honey all of the time. Like we would just take them out of Lizzie's, canister container, and just like shoot them to her, and she would like play with them. She would play with them underneath the doors. She'd play with them all day, and
we were very careful though. Like when we stopped playing with them, like when she was like done with them, we would like put them up. So it's not like they were like flowing all over the house.
Right.
So.
And we realized a lot of them got lost, and we just assumed that they were lost under our shoe cart or my Funko Pop, thing, or under the rug, and that's where we found them in the past, and in the couch cushions. So I got home and I see this sea urchin looking thing, something you would find in the ocean. I start looking closer and closer.
Well, you call me, and you're like, there is this. I mean, Honey has threw up something in the floor. And I'm like, I just don't know what it could be. I'm like, well, I start thinking and thinking and thinking. I'm like, Noah, like, this is gross, but get a paper towel and kind of fill, not with your bare hand, but fill it with your paper towel for you to try to figure out what it is.
Yep.
So you started filling it. And
it was probably about 4 to 6 hair bows. Were they broken?
Yeah. So what she would do?
They were snapped, I think.
They weren't like circular. So she, I guess, bit them in half, and they were just like it was almost like a string.
So,
but they were all like matted together. So they were like this round of like.
It was so scary because, like, obviously, like, we checked with her doctor and she said, just keep an eye on her.
As long as she's eating and drinking.
Yeah, but thankfully she was fine and she's okay. There was no surgery or anything.
She's like so tiny, and I was like, how did she, like, how did that not get stuck in her stomach? Or how did she even get that, up?
I
Like,
don't we never saw her like chew on them. We just saw
no,
her
we
like
didn't.
play with them.
Like,
She was very innocent.
she showed no interest in, like, inhaling it.
Right.
So, anyways.
So, this last one, or there's two more, but um, also another funny thing about the apartment is on most of the windows. I mean, that one's closed. There is like adhesive stickers that won't come off. I guess that came with the window when they were bought. And the funniest one is on our door to the hallway. There is a price tag, an orange sticker that says like $60,
A walk-in
and
$60.
it's on the inside. Mind you, this door has a blind to it, so you can kind of like open and close the blind. This was installed invertly, like it was installed incorrectly, but it was installed like, what is the word, like out of order.
Someone was very excited to put this thing up because they were so excited, or they just didn't
Inside
care.
out. That's what,
because they didn't even take the price tag off.
the price tag's still on it, and it was installed inside out. So every time somebody goes over, we also show them that. I think it was bought in like 2013, which is hilarious. And we just show them the inside of that door has a price tag that's an orange sticker of $60.
Anyways,
so many memories in this home. Also on that list, this was our first home. Obviously, this is where we adopted Honey, and we brought her here.
This is all she knows.
This is all she
knows.
Other
than the wild.
Right. So this was Honey's first home. A lot of memories made in here. Good memories, bad memories.
Had a lot of guests and a lot of people over,
but this upcoming announcement is going to open up the door for much more of those things, and it's gonna be a huge blessing in our lives. But we just wanted to share some of our favorite memories, whether they be scary, whether they be funny, whether they be happy or sad. We just wanted to share kind of the memories that we've had in this apartment, and we're saying farewell to the apartment. We are not going to be living here much longer, so obviously you know what that entails, but we will hop into the next podcast and explain to you the entire situation, and maybe a special guest along the line as well.
This will be the last time of us filming in here.
Right. So.
Happy.
What do you rate this apartment, Lizzie, out of our time staying here? Noting all that we've said, but obviously you have to put into perspective pricing, and convenience and all that stuff.
I would say 9 out of 10. I mean, or 8 to 9 out of 10. I mean, it has its downfalls, but it's a great price, especially for us that just got, when we just got married, we moved in here. So I mean, it was perfect for us.
I'm gonna give a solid 8 as well.
Yeah, so it was perfect for us. Like you said at the beginning, we kind of made it to fit our needs. So yeah, I think a solid 8 to 9 out of 10.
Well, Lizzie, do you want to do the outro for us, or come up with your own thing?
Well, we love you guys. Thanks for joining in the last podcast. Well, not the last podcast ever, just the last podcast in the apartment. We love you guys. Stay tuned.